Well, Paul Gosar has gone and done it. The congressman from Arizona becomes the first sitting Republican member of Congress to publicly call for the removal of House Speaker Paul Ryan, who's already retired, who is a lame duck by any definition, but is persisting in hanging on to the job he said he didn't want just a few years ago. Gosar calling the Republican leadership team toxic. He pointed to Ryan's lame duck approach on the midterm elections and his failure to stop Rhino Republicans from trying to force a DACA discharge petition onto the floor. Our next guest leading a group of 7 state attorneys general suing to end that DACA program. Joining us tonight, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Mr. Attorney General, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You want to end DACA, and I think that right now there are a lot of people in the country who are watching the Republican conference trying to figure out what in the world the House of Representatives really wants to do with it.
And I have no idea what the reason we sued and the reason we asked the administration to pull this back. President Obama did this unconstitutionally, outside of his authority. It's totally up to Congress if they want to deal with this. It's up to them. If they don't want to deal with this, it's up to them. But it is not in the purview or the power of a president to just change immigration law, and that's why we sued.
And the Supreme Court supports your view, and at this point, the states have every right to end what is an unconstitutional executive order on the part of President Obama, as you say. It would seem to me, it seems to me to be, frankly, an open and shut case. But one thing I've learned watching you attorneys general, judges, and justices is nothing is ever a sure deal.
This is a pretty sure deal. We have a very similar case with DAPA, same constitutional issue. We're in the same courts. We're going through the same process. I'd be shocked if we were not successful, both at the district court level, at the Fifth Circuit, and ultimately at the U.S. Supreme Court. It's clearly unconstitutional. Legal scholars have really settled on this and have seen what we've done in the past, and I think you'll see we'll be successful.
And can you rationalize for us the district court decisions that basically have impeded the Trump administration from acting?
So you're asking for a heroic effort on my part to explain these federal judges who, I mean, obviously this is an executive order by Obama, and now you have a president who thinks that's unconstitutional. He wants to undo an executive order. How can a judge step into that role and say that a president can't undo an executive order? To me, that's another separation of powers issue and a violation of the Constitution. These judges don't have the authority to do that.
And we're going to see that play out in court, and we wish you luck.
Thank you.
This is going to be extraordinary. The sanctuary cities, Texas also moving against sanctuary cities. Where do your efforts stand, and what do you expect to be the final resolution?
So we had our own sanctuary city bill, and we were ultimately sued by many of our cities, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, El Paso. And our law was really simple. It just allowed law enforcement to ask about immigration status, which had already been approved by the Supreme Court in an Arizona case. And then it also did this crazy thing and said that if you're an elected official, you have to turn over illegals who have committed crimes, which we think is obviously pretty reasonable in our state. And that's all it required. We were sued. We lost in district court. The Fifth Circuit reversed, and we've been successful so far in defending that law.
And how soon do you think there'll be resolution?
Actually, there may be resolution now. I'm not sure they're appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm not sure what the other side is doing. But right now, we have our law in place, and we're enforcing it through my office.
All right. Let's turn to the issue of immigration, and I want to get just your thoughts about what the House of Representatives represents with a discharge petition working against your obvious determination of both law and the interest of the state of Texas and the people of Texas versus a Speaker of the House who's a lame duck, who will not be running for re-election, who wants to stay Speaker and apparently keep his hands in all of the coffers of K Street, the Business Roundtable, the Koch brothers, the Chamber of Commerce, and Wall Street.
Yeah, so you're talking about the DACA issue? Yeah, absolutely. So, look, I don't know what Congress should or shouldn't do about this.
I agree with you. It could be a lot of issues when it comes to Speaker Ryan, but this one...
Absolutely. So, yeah, it really is an issue of constitutional power. It is up to Congress to do something, but they are not required to. This was an action by a president that overstepped his bounds, and all we're doing is, as law enforcement officers and legal people, is saying you can't violate the Constitution. We can't have a president doing that. And now we have a current president who's ready to rescind it, and that's the appropriate action. And whether Congress does something isn't in my power to decide, but ultimately it is my power to go enforce the Constitution.
And we appreciate you doing so. I wish a few more attorneys general did that across the country, and even one who is the ultimate law enforcement officer of the country, the U.S. Attorney General. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Ken Paxton, Attorney General of the great state of Texas.